What was supposed to be the most delicate and emotional day of Rada's life reportedly turned into something no one expected. According to online chatter and fan speculation, a secret tied to Michael surfaced at the worst possible moment, just as Rada was preparing for one of the most vulnerable experiences any woman can face. Social media users claimed this wasn't a small misunderstanding or harmless rumor. What allegedly came out involved Nadia and a possible pregnancy, a revelation fans say hit Rada without warning. The timing is what has left viewers unsettled. A day meant to revolve around safety, support, and new beginnings was suddenly overshadowed by shock, confusion, and emotional distress. Fans believe Rada was blindsided, forced to process information that many argue should never surface during such a fragile moment. What makes this situation even more disturbing, according to fans, is not just what was revealed, but how long it may have been hidden. Silence, once framed as protection, now feels far more complicated. Was this truth delayed to spare Rada pain? Or did secrecy only magnify the damage when the truth finally surfaced? Viewers say that the moment this information allegedly came out, the entire atmosphere shifted. And from that point on, nothing, emotionally or relationally, was ever the same again. What happened next remains one of the most heavily debated moments among fans. Fans claim that long before the alleged truth surfaced, the atmosphere around Rada already felt unusually tense. What should have been a day centered on reassurance and support reportedly carried an undercurrent of unease that no one could fully explain at the time. According to online speculation, Rada appeared emotional but hopeful, focused on preparing herself mentally and physically for childbirth. To those around her, everything seemed normal, yet fans now argue that the signs of something being wrong were quietly present. Social media users point out that Michael's behavior allegedly stood out long before any confrontation occurred. While others in the room focused on Rada's comfort, viewers claim Michael appeared distracted, repeatedly checking his phone, pacing, and avoiding extended eye contact. At the time, these moments were brushed off as nerves or stress. In hindsight, fans believe those small actions were early indicators that something far more serious was weighing on him. According to circulating fan accounts, the tension began to crystallize when Rada allegedly noticed interactions involving Nadia that didn't sit right with her. What started as subtle curiosity reportedly turned into discomfort. Fans claim Rada asked simple, calm questions that should have been easy to answer. Instead, Michael allegedly responded with hesitation, vague reassurance, and deflection. Viewers argue that this shift was immediate and noticeable, especially given how emotionally vulnerable Rada already was. As the conversation continued, social media users say Rada's instincts took over. Fans have long pointed out that Rada tends to sense when something feels off, and this moment was no different. According to speculation, her tone reportedly changed from casual to serious as she pressed for clarity. What unsettled viewers most was not what was said, but what wasn't. Michael's pauses and carefully chosen words allegedly did more damage than any outright confession could have. Fans describe a gradual shift inside the room. What once felt warm and supportive reportedly became heavier with each exchange. Even those present, according to online commentary, sensed the change but were unsure how to intervene without escalating the situation. The joy that had surrounded the upcoming birth allegedly began to fade, replaced by confusion and emotional strain. Social media chatter suggests that as Rada pushed for honest answers, Michael attempted to steer the focus back to the delivery itself. Fans claim he urged her to stay calm, emphasizing her health and the importance of the moment ahead. While some viewers interpret this as concern, many argue it felt dismissive, almost as if the emotional reality Rada was experiencing was being sidelined for the sake of keeping the situation contained. According to fan speculation, this redirection only heightened Rada's distress. Viewers believe she struggled to understand how she was expected to set aside her growing fears while sensing that a significant truth was being withheld. As emotions intensified, fans claim Rada's excitement visibly gave way to anxiety, her confidence shaken by the growing realization that something far bigger than she anticipated was unfolding. It was during this fragile state, according to online posts, that the conversation allegedly took a more serious turn. Fans believe Michael admitted there was more to the situation than he had previously let on. This moment is widely considered by viewers to be the turning point, the instant when whispers and rumors began to feel disturbingly real. When the idea of an alleged pregnancy involving Nadia surfaced, fans say the room reportedly fell silent. The weight of that possibility allegedly overshadowed everything else. Rada, according to online claims, appeared stunned, forced to process information that felt both overwhelming and deeply personal. Viewers argue that the timing made the revelation especially painful, as it surfaced when she was physically and emotionally at her most vulnerable. Fans have emphasized that what hurt most was not just the rumor itself, but the realization that this truth, if true, had been concealed until that exact moment. Social media users believe Rada struggled to reconcile the idea of bringing a child into the world while confronting the possibility of such a profound betrayal. Emotions reportedly surged, with shock giving way to heartbreak and disbelief. According to fan commentary, Michael's explanations did little to calm the situation. Viewers claim his attempts to justify his silence only deepened Rada's sense of mistrust. While he allegedly insisted his intentions were never meant to cause harm, fans argue that intention became irrelevant once the damage was done. To Rada, they say, it felt as though honesty arrived far too late to offer comfort. As the situation unfolded, those present reportedly remained frozen, unsure whether stepping in would ease the tension or make it worse. The delivery day that was meant to symbolize love and new beginnings had allegedly transformed into an emotional confrontation no one was prepared for. And according to fans, this moment didn't resolve anything. It only opened the door to an even deeper unraveling that would continue to haunt everything that followed. Fans claim that after the alleged revelation, the emotional temperature inside the room shifted in a way that could not be undone. The silence that followed was described by viewers as heavy and suffocating, as though everyone present sensed that the moment had crossed a line. Rada, already drained and vulnerable, reportedly struggled to steady her breathing as she tried to process what she had just heard. Social media users speculate that the shock was not only emotional but physical, forcing her to pause and gather herself before saying anything at all. According to online chatter, Rada's first response was not anger, but disbelief. Fans say she asked Michael to repeat himself, hoping there had been some misunderstanding. When his answer reportedly remained careful and unclear, viewers believe her disbelief quickly turned into fear. In that moment, many fans claim Rada realized she might be confronting a reality far more complicated and painful than any rumor she had encountered before. Social media users suggest that Michael appeared increasingly overwhelmed as Rada's questions became more direct. His explanations, described by fans as fragmented and inconsistent, allegedly raised more concerns than they resolved. Viewers argue that each attempt to soften the situation only made it harder for Rada to trust what she was hearing. What seemed like reassurance to him reportedly felt like avoidance to her. Fans believe the emotional dynamic shifted when Rada asked how long this situation had been known. The pause that followed, according to online commentary, spoke louder than words. For many viewers, that silence confirmed their worst assumptions, that whatever was being discussed was not new, but something that had been concealed over time. This realization, fans say, marked the point where shock gave way to heartbreak. According to circulating fan posts, Rada began connecting moments from the past that now felt impossible to ignore. Missed calls, unexplained absences, emotional distance, details that once seemed insignificant allegedly resurfaced with new meaning. Social media users argue that this mental replay intensified her pain, making the betrayal feel layered rather than isolated. Viewers online suggest that Michael attempted to regain control by emphasizing the importance of the baby and urging Rada to stay calm. However, many fans believe this approach backfired. Instead of comfort, it reportedly felt minimizing, as though her emotional pain was being pushed aside in favor of maintaining order. Rada, according to fan commentary, responded by questioning how she could remain calm while facing a truth powerful enough to alter her entire future. Fans describe the atmosphere as emotionally volatile. Anger, silence, tears, and disbelief allegedly cycled through the room, leaving those present uncertain about how to help. Friends and family, according to speculation, exchanged tense looks but remained cautious, afraid that intervening might escalate a situation already on the brink. Social media chatter suggests that Rada's focus eventually shifted from confrontation to clarity. Fans claim she asked Michael what he intended to do moving forward, not just for her sake, but for the stability of the family she was about to welcome into the world. This question, viewers say, forced Michael into a moment of visible hesitation, as though he had yet to fully grasp the weight of his actions. According to fans, Michael expressed remorse, insisting he never intended to cause pain. While some viewers sympathize with his regret, many argue that apology alone cannot repair trust broken during such a vulnerable moment. Rada, fans say, appeared torn between emotional exhaustion and the need for honest answers, both of which demanded energy she no longer had. As time passed, the room reportedly fell into a quieter tension, less explosive but no less heavy. Fans speculate that this was the moment the reality of the situation truly settled in. The delivery day, once filled with anticipation, had transformed into something defined by uncertainty and unanswered questions. Viewers believe that whatever decision lay ahead for Rada would not come easily, nor would it come quickly. According to social media commentary, the alleged confrontation ended without resolution, leaving behind a fractured sense of trust and a future clouded by doubt. And fans agree on one thing: this moment was not the end of the story. It was the point where everything began to unravel, setting the stage for consequences that would continue to shock viewers long after the room fell silent. Fans claim that once the immediate confrontation softened, a different kind of emotional weight settled over the room. The intensity didn't disappear, it transformed into something quieter, heavier, and far more unsettling. According to online chatter, Rada appeared withdrawn, speaking less but absorbing everything with a blank stare that worried those around her. Viewers speculate that this was the moment her mind shifted from reacting emotionally to calculating what this alleged truth could mean for the rest of her life. Social media users suggest that Rada eventually asked a question that cut deeper than any accusation. Rather than focusing on Nadia or the alleged pregnancy itself, she reportedly asked Michael whether she had ever truly known the full truth about him. Fans believe this question changed the tone entirely. Michael, according to speculation, struggled to respond immediately, his silence interpreted by many as a form of admission, even if unintended. Fans online say Michael attempted to reassure her by emphasizing that his feelings for her were real and that nothing could erase the bond they shared. However, viewers argue that reassurance no longer carried the weight it once did. Rada's silence, described by fans as controlled but deeply hurt, suggested that emotional validation alone could not undo the damage created by secrecy. According to circulating fan commentary, the conversation drifted toward trust, its absence, its fragility, and whether it could survive under these circumstances. Rada reportedly expressed that trust is built through transparency, not delayed confessions. Fans believe she struggled to reconcile how she could rely on Michael moving forward when such a life-altering issue surfaced at the most vulnerable moment of her life. Social media users claim Michael showed visible signs of guilt as the reality of his actions settled in. His earlier defensiveness reportedly gave way to remorse, with multiple apologies offered in quick succession. Yet fans argue that regret alone did little to restore stability. To many viewers, it appeared that Michael himself was realizing, in real time, the irreversible nature of what had been unleashed. Fans believe the discussion then shifted to the future, an uncertain and emotionally charged subject. Rada, according to fan accounts, voiced concern about the environment her child would be entering. Stability, honesty, and emotional safety reportedly became central to her thoughts. Viewers say this marked a turning point where the focus moved beyond betrayal and toward long-term consequences. Online chatter suggests that the emotional strain forced Rada to take moments of withdrawal, stepping away from the conversation to protect her mental and physical well-being. Fans claim these pauses reflected an internal struggle, choosing between confronting unresolved truths and preserving her own strength during a critical time. Michael, meanwhile, is said to have remained close, visibly conflicted about whether his presence offered comfort or inflicted additional stress. Viewers speculate that he appeared unsure of how to fix a situation that no longer responded to explanations or apologies. His earlier certainty reportedly eroded, replaced by fear of permanent loss. Friends and family, according to social media commentary, continued to observe cautiously. Support for Rada reportedly remained steady, while reactions toward Michael became more reserved. The room, once filled with anticipation and encouragement, had transformed into a space defined by emotional restraint and unresolved tension. Fans note that what made this moment especially painful was the lack of closure. No clear decisions were made. No definitive answers were given. Instead, the day that was intended to symbolize new beginnings became layered with doubt and emotional reckoning. As online discussions intensified, viewers began to frame this incident as more than a single moment of betrayal. Many argued it highlighted how secrecy, no matter the intention, can deepen wounds when revealed at the wrong time. According to fan speculation, this delivery day would forever be associated with a shift in how Rada viewed her relationship, and possibly herself. For fans watching from the outside, one thing remains clear: whatever unfolds next will not simply erase what happened. The emotional fallout from this alleged revelation continues to ripple outward, leaving unanswered questions that refuse to fade as the story moves toward its next chapter. Now the question turns to you. After everything fans claim unfolded behind those doors, the timing, the secrecy, the emotional weight, what do you believe really mattered most in that moment? Was it Michael's intention to protect, or the impact his silence allegedly had when the truth surfaced at the worst possible time? And when a secret comes out during a moment this vulnerable, does intention still count, or does trust already take the final hit? Many viewers online can't agree. Some believe Rada deserved complete honesty long before delivery day, arguing that transparency is not optional when trust and emotional safety are on the line. Others feel people panic under pressure, make poor decisions, and deserve a chance to explain themselves. But even those voices admit the timing makes this situation far harder to forgive. If you were in Rada's position, what would you do next? Would you demand accountability and clear boundaries moving forward, or would you step away to protect your peace and your future? And if you were Michael, how would you rebuild trust after something this deeply damaging allegedly came to light? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. This conversation isn't complete without your perspective. Your voice matters here. If this story made you stop and think, hit the like button so more viewers can join the discussion. Subscribe to the channel for ongoing updates, fan reactions, and deeper breakdowns as this situation continues to unfold. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next, because if fans are right, this story is far from over.